In America, $50,000 might not even cover 1 year of retirement. But on the right English-speaking island, it can become a relocation runway, a safety cushion, and a way to test retirement abroad without burning through everything you have. This is not fantasy luxury. $50,000 does not solve retirement forever. But combined with Social Security, a pension, remote income, or modest savings, it can make island life realistic. The first island gives you Europe. The last one may be the strongest overall value. And the cheapest one might actually be the riskiest. Starting in the Mediterranean. Gozo, Malta. Gozo is the smaller, quieter sister island of Malta, and it belongs on this list for one huge reason. English works. Malta has English as an official language, which removes one of the biggest fears retirees have about moving abroad. Doctor visits, government offices, rental contracts, grocery stores, restaurants, daily life. English is part of the system. That matters more than people think. Because cheap retirement is not just about rent. It is about feeling like you can actually function when something goes wrong. On Gozo, $50,000 is not buy a villa and disappear money. It is relocation money. It can cover rental deposits, furniture, healthcare setup, flights, emergency savings, and several months of breathing room while you settle in. And if you are living modestly, away from Malta's busiest and most expensive areas, around $1,500 a month can still support a simple island lifestyle. Not luxury, but rent, groceries, utilities, buses, coffee by the harbor, and the occasional meal out without feeling like every day is a financial emergency. Gozo gives you stone villages, blue water, quiet streets, bakeries, churches, sea views, and a slower pace that feels very different from the main island. It is the best fit for someone who wants Europe, healthcare confidence, English access, and old-world charm without choosing one of Europe's most expensive retirement destinations. But here is the catch. Gozo is not undiscovered anymore. Costs have been rising. Malta's paperwork can be slow. Long-stay residency needs proper planning. And from the United States, getting there usually means connecting through another European airport. So Gozo is not the cheapest island on this list. It is the safe European option. And that brings us to the rule that matters for every island in this video. $50,000 is not the retirement, it is the bridge. The visa, the healthcare, and the monthly income are what decide whether the bridge actually reaches the other side. And the next island proves that perfectly because it is cheaper than Gozo, but much rougher around the edges. Dominica, not the Dominican Republic, Dominica. The nature island of the Caribbean. Rainforest, waterfalls, volcanic hot springs, rivers, mountain roads, black sand beaches, and the kind of silence that feels impossible if you have spent your life in cities, suburbs, traffic, and bills. English is the official language, which immediately makes life easier for retirees who do not want to spend their later years fighting through translation apps. And financially, Dominica is where $50,000 starts to stretch. Outside the most convenient areas, rent can be much lower than on more famous Caribbean islands. Local produce, fresh fish, fruit stands, and a simpler lifestyle can keep monthly spending under control. With a modest setup, $1,500 a month can cover rent, food, utilities, basic transport, and everyday living. But Dominica is not for the retiree who wants polished resort life. That is the point. This is not Barbados. It is not the Cayman Islands. It is not St. Bart's with a discount code. Dominica is wilder, greener, quieter, and less developed. For the right person, that is heaven. For the wrong person, it is isolation with palm trees. The biggest catch is resilience. Hurricanes are a real threat. Infrastructure can be uneven. Roads are steep and winding. Healthcare is limited compared with larger islands. And flights from the United States are rarely simple, so Dominica may be the best value for someone who wants nature, quiet, and a low-cost Caribbean life. But it may be a serious mistake for someone who needs strong hospitals, easy flights, smooth roads, and constant convenience. That is why the cheapest island is not automatically the smartest island. And the next option keeps the Caribbean lifestyle, but adds something Dominica does not have in the same way. A built-in expat community, Roatan, Honduras. Roatan sits in the Bay Islands off the coast of Honduras, and it feels very different from the mainland. English is widely spoken in many tourist, expat, and island communities. partly because of the Bay Islands' history and Caribbean culture. That matters because Roatan is one of those places where retirees can step into an existing community rather than trying to invent a life from scratch. Dive shops, beach bars, small expat networks, rental offices. Local businesses used to foreign residents. It is not frictionless, but it is more familiar than people expect. On Roatan, $50,000 can cover the transition well. Flights, deposits, furniture, initial medical checks, emergency savings, and time to find the right part of the island before committing. Around $1,500 a month can work for a modest lifestyle, especially if you are careful with location and imported goods. But this is where the honesty matters. Prime Roatan is not dirt cheap. West End and West Bay can get expensive because tourism and expats push up prices. Imported food costs more. Electricity can bite, and island convenience always has a premium. The retirees who make Roatan work are usually the ones who adapt. They rent before buying. They learn which areas are overpriced. They use local markets. They accept that paradise sometimes comes with power cuts, road issues, and slow problem solving. The long-stay angle is also more realistic for some retirees than people realize. Honduras has pension-style residence options for people with reliable retirement income. But the rules and income proof need checking carefully before making plans. The biggest catch is healthcare. Roatan can handle basic needs, but serious medical problems may mean traveling to the mainland, another country, or back home. That is not a small detail for retirees. So Roatan is the community Caribbean option. More social than Dominica, more affordable than many famous islands, but still a place where backup plans matter. For a first scouting trip to islands like Roatan or Dominica, Saili eSIM is useful for landing with mobile data already active instead of hunting for a SIM card after a long flight. Link below. Now, if Roatan gives you Caribbean community, the next destination gives you something different. English ease, lower healthcare costs, and island life in Asia. The Philippines. More specifically, Cebu or Palawan. The Philippines may be the most English-friendly country in Asia. English is used widely in government, schools, hospitals, malls, signs, and everyday interactions, especially in major cities and expat areas. For retirees, that removes a huge barrier. Cebu is the practical island choice. Hospitals, shopping malls, international flights, reliable services, restaurants, gyms, dental care, and enough city infrastructure to make daily life manageable. It is not the postcard version of island retirement every day. It has traffic, it has noise, it has heat, but it also gives you access, and access matters. Around $1,500 a month in Cebu can support a comfortable but sensible lifestyle. A decent apartment, meals out, private clinic visits, transport, phone data, utilities, and some entertainment. $50,000 gives you a real cushion. It can cover the first year, healthcare setup, visa costs, deposits, furniture, emergency flights, and the slow process of figuring out where you actually want to live. Palawan is the dreamier version. Limestone cliffs, lagoons, beaches, blue water, slower towns, and some of the most beautiful scenery in Asia. But Palawan is also more remote, less infrastructure, fewer major healthcare options, more dependence on weather and transport. So the choice is clear. Cebu is the easier base. Palawan is the stronger dream. The Philippines also has one of the better-known retiree visa systems in Asia, the Special Resident Retirees Visa. But the deposit requirements and categories have changed over time, so this is not something to guess from old blog posts. It needs checking with current official information before committing. The catch is that the Philippines can test patience. Bureaucracy can be slow, typhoons are real, internet outside major areas can be unreliable, traffic in Cebu can be brutal, and healthcare quality depends heavily on location. But for retirees who want warmth, English access, lower costs, private healthcare, and genuine friendliness, the Philippines is hard to ignore. It is probably the best emotional island option on this list, the place where the welcome can feel as powerful as the price. But the final island may be the best overall balance. Not the cheapest, not the most dramatic, but maybe the strongest combination of healthcare, food, safety, English, infrastructure, and long-term comfort. Penang, Malaysia. Penang is the island that keeps showing up on retirement lists for a reason. It works. English is widely spoken, especially in Georgetown, hospitals, restaurants, expat areas, and business settings. Malaysia is not an English-first country, but Penang is one of the easiest places in Asia for English-speaking retirees to function day-to-day. And the lifestyle is strong. Modern condos, sea views, street food, private hospitals, shopping malls, coffee shops, temples, colonial streets, reliable internet, an airport, and one of the best food scenes in the world. In Penang, $50,000 is a powerful launchpad. It can cover arrival costs, rental deposits, furniture, health checks, insurance, local setup, and still leave a serious emergency cushion. And with around $1,500 a month, a retiree can live well if they are sensible. Not luxury penthouse well, but comfortable condo, hawker food, private medical visits, utilities, transport, and a good everyday life. The food alone changes the budget. In some countries, eating out is a treat. In Penang, eating out can be cheaper than cooking, especially at hawker centers where the food is genuinely excellent. But the biggest reason Penang wins is healthcare. Private hospitals in Penang are a major part of Malaysia's medical tourism industry. For retirees, that is enormous. Because the fear is not just, can I afford rent? The fear is, what happens if something goes wrong? Penang answers that better than almost every island on this list. Good hospitals, English-speaking medical staff in many private facilities, lower costs than the United States, and enough infrastructure that you do not feel stranded. The long-stay option is Malaysia My Second Home, usually called MM2H. It has been one of Asia's most famous long-stay programs, but the requirements have changed a lot in recent years. Deposits, property rules, minimum stays, and categories all need current checking. So Penang is not just show up and stay forever. The visa planning matters. But as a place to retire, test, or build a longer-term island base, it may be the strongest all-rounder. The catch is climate and rules. The heat is constant. The humidity can be exhausting. Alcohol is expensive compared with many countries. And visa requirements are not as easy as they used to be. So Penang is best for someone who prioritizes healthcare, food, safety, infrastructure, and English access over perfect weather or simple paperwork. For planning scouting trips across places like Penang, Cebu, Gozo, or the Caribbean, Kiwi can help compare flight routes, and Expedia is useful for testing different neighborhoods before signing a longer lease. Links are below. For deeper residency breakdowns, retirement route comparisons, and updated country research, Horizon Insider is linked below. Here is the real takeaway. $50,000 is not enough to retire forever by itself. That is the fantasy version. But paired with Social Security, a pension, remote income, or even modest freelance work, it can become the money that gets you out of the trap. It can pay for the move. It can protect you while you settle. It can let you test a country before committing. It can turn retirement abroad from a daydream into a plan. Gozo gives you the safest European feel. Dominica gives you the quiet nature escape. Roatan gives you Caribbean community. Cebu and Palawan give you English-friendly Asian value. Penang gives you the best healthcare and lifestyle balance. The mistake is choosing the cheapest island. The smarter move is choosing the island where the visa, healthcare, monthly budget, and daily life all line up. So which island would you actually choose for retirement? Gozo, Dominica, Roatan, Cebu, or Palawan, or Penang? Drop it in the comments.